Hello everyone, I am Erika of the storytellingjuggler.com, and this is our usual Tuesday afternoons or mornings if you are overseas, coffee time with Erika. We can chat about everything bead related or non-bead related, whatever, and most importantly, keep each other company and have fun. So I hope that you are here with me. Please let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me. All you need to do is just type in a comment. I'm curious. Nita is here. Welcome, welcome. She says, hi, Erika, waiting with a nice mug of iced coffee. Oh, iced coffee. That sounds so good. Susie, dear, I'm so happy that you could join us also. Another Erika. Hello, Erika. So, until we are waiting for the others to show up, I will also pour myself a nice cup of coffee. This day is also one of those few when I am actually home alone, so there is no one bringing me my coffee, but I can have all of this for myself. Just kidding, even I can't drink that much of coffee. Corinne, Ula, and Sarah, Laura, Robin. Oh, welcome, ladies. Oh, wow, Susie. She said, I can't believe this is such a great afternoon. I have my coffee, Erika's brownie, and my traveler to finish. Oh, that's really nice. You have an Erika-themed afternoon, even Erika talking to you. Connie, Sharon, welcome, ladies. So, I see that the technical side is all right. And some of you already let me know that you have your coffees. So those are the most important things before we could start. And yeah, let's get started. Today, I will return a bit more to our friend Estefan and his turtle family. And also, of course, I would like to mention the Traveler project. So, oh, sorry, I have to silence my phone. Yeah, okay. So, May turned out to be all about bead embroidery. As I was the guest teacher, I had the honor to be the guest teacher in the Seed Beads and More Facebook group, which is one of the biggest and best beading Facebook groups online. And it was an amazing experience. Many of you have joined the beaders and joined this journey of learning the basics of bead embroidery. And actually, some of you, even I got to know some of you thanks to this project. So I'm really, really glad. It was a very intense month. Yesterday, the fourth and final lesson was published. And tomorrow, already tomorrow, a Q&A, a question and answer session is coming when I can answer all of your questions about bead embroidery during a live broadcast like this, and also about the fourth lesson and also about the previous lessons. You can already start posting your questions below the fourth lesson in the comment, or just show up at the designated time. It's always 5 o'clock Central European time, and yeah, you can ask your questions right away. So Tanya says she has a problem with the broadcast. Tanya, keep refreshing. It should show up. Maybe your internet connection that's slowing it down. So, in the meanwhile, also Joyce and Marianne and Yvette joined us. Sharon, hello everyone. So, oh, Zuzi says, I love the lessons with you, even if I know the technique. You are a great teacher. Thank you so much. You all are great students, and your enthusiasm and positive energy, it gives me so much motivation. It is the best what's happening. So, even after the traveler month in the Seed Bead and More group will be over, then of course you can always ask me questions about embroidery, and I will always be happy to answer. By the way, I had the idea that maybe in the future we could also do this kind of intense learning and teaching sessions. So if you have an idea that what kind of project would you like to learn, what kind of technique would you like to learn, then keep me posted, just let me know. In a little while, the online workshops will start, by the way. So stay close if you would like to have the information firsthand. By the way, from tomorrow, I will have a coupon code available for in the Seed Beads and More group. So those beaders who are experimenting and playing with bead embroidery, they can get some of the most important components with a nice discount. But I wanted you to know first, in case there is something you would like to grab, since many of the cabochons and also the filigree, they are limited in stock. So if you would like to have some filigree components for your embroidery, or leather sheets to back it, or the L2 Studio cabochons, then you can shop for them now with 20% off. All you need to do is just type in the code TRAVELER. So, back to Turtle Estefan. Very, very soon, a new donation from us will be made towards the Turtle Sanctuary. For those of you who are not familiar with the goal of this project yet, the beaded turtles, Estefan and all his siblings, and now his cousins, the jewel turtles, they are collecting funds for a turtle sanctuary in Borneo. And all of it started a year ago on Earth Day in April. And every kid, every little turtle which is adopted in the form of a kit, it brings €5 towards the turtle sanctuary. And if someone decides to buy a tutorial, then that brings €3 towards the turtle sanctuary. So in the first half year of their existence, we managed to collect €451 for the turtle sanctuary. That was sent to Borneo last week in September, I think, September or October, September. And since then, we were collecting some more funds. And at the end of this broadcast, I will tell you that what is the amount what we managed to collect all together. And I would like to thank you for everyone who contributed. I hope you are having fun with your little turtles. So, and before we would close this topic, I would like to tell you more about the place where the donations actually go, and about the hard work what the people working and running the place are doing. So it's not a randomly chosen place taking care about turtles, but it is something very personal for me. The place is called the Scuba Junkie Turtle Sanctuary, and you might guess from the name that it's not only a turtle sanctuary, but scuba referring to the scuba gear, it's actually also a diving school. And 6 years ago, together with two of my friends, we decided to travel to Malaysia. And yeah, we really wanted to try scuba diving. The whole journey for me, it was about taking challenges and seeing like what I am capable of, or like pushing my limits. Sometimes I succeeded, sometimes I didn't. It was a very interesting 1 month when I was traveling around in Malaysia. Some of the challenges, they included tasting the famous durian. Has any one of you tasted durian, by the way? Do you know this fruit or what? Until I am waiting for your answers, then I will look back at the comments, because I see that Erla wrote a longer one, and I would like to answer her right away if possible. So Erla says, hello, Erika. Hello, everyone. It is definitely a joy to see this live broadcast and to share that passion with many other people. I haven't actually done a traveler yet because I can't find my coin that I want to use, but it has reignited my love of bead embroidery. Erla, then the goal was accomplished. My ultimate goal is to spread the passion of beading and spread the love of creating. So if it sparkled your imagination again, then it was achieved already, and I am looking forward to see your traveler. Alestina, no, it's not the jackfruit. The jackfruit is like a different one, and I know it can be also eaten raw, but most of the times they use it for curries or other kinds of meals. The durian, it's something very specific. Corinne says, not yet. I heard that the taste is much better than its smell. Petra is asking, no, I don't know it. Hello, Petra. Is that the fruit that smells terrible? Yes, indeed. In Singapore, if you take it to the metro, then you can actually get a fine because of the smell. It is horrible. It smells rotten. And to give you an imagination that how does it taste, look at our faces. So yeah, we were not impressed. but some other challenges which we I took later. It included not only tasting the durian, but for example, hiking on our own in the rainforest. The village where we stayed, they told us that, oh, it's perfectly safe. And then after 2 days, also including sleeping in the rainforest, we came out through a different path. And when we looked back, there was a sign that don't dare to enter without a guide. And we just finished our 2 days hike on our own, the 3 girls. But yeah, also diving. So that's why we traveled to Borneo, to Scuba Junkie, so we can get a taste of the underwater world. This is what the jetty looks like there. And there is also right next to it a community, a local community, an original village of the local people. And that's actually where part of the work is done. So the Scuba Junkie Diving School, they set up the Turtle Sanctuary, which they finance from donations, from their own profits, and also many of the people staying there and working there, they are volunteers. So it's a communal effort and or donations, they are really, really appreciated there. Every single euro is put into a very good use. So, for example, the volunteers from Scuba Junkie, they work with the community from this village. You see, the village, the people in the village, they live most of the time from fishing and also from finding and selling turtle eggs. But you know, it's not so simple just to telling them like, oh, stop doing it. On one hand, it is part of their tradition, so it's not so easy to like understand what's wrong with it. And on the other hand, you can't just take away a person's livelihood. So what Scuba Junkie is doing, for example, that they are taking up volunteers from the local community who want to learn diving and becoming dive masters or dive instructors even in the future. And they are financing the education of these local people so they can pursue a different career instead of fishing, which like the surrounding waters are really overfished. So it's very important. And also finding and selling the eggs will not be that important if they want to provide for their families. Then another thing what they are doing at Scuba Junkie is that they actually employ a marine biologist team. And for example, they are doing research in the area. What is the state of the coral reef and and all the flora and fauna in the surroundings? Also, they told me that one of the jobs, which they are alternating in doing it because it is actually a very sad job, but they want to map if their work, all the education and everything in the area, if it has an effect. So one of them always goes to the local fish markets and they, for example, count that how many sharks or turtles do they see at the market being sold, and if the number is decreasing or what's happening. They also, for example, have these fun weeks for tourists, like we were there, shark and turtle and manta information weeks, when we could learn about, we were there during a shark week. So in a fun way, we could learn a lot about sharks. And that's actually talking to the guys from Scuba Junkie. Well, that's what ignited this whole project. And also a very important, like maybe the most important part of their job is that they relocate the nests of turtles to a safe area where they are taking really good care of them, because it's, for example, very important for turtles that the eggs, that how deep they are under the sand. So if someone from the local village, they see a turtle laying eggs, then if they alert Scuba Junkie, then they are offered a higher price than what they would get at the local market if they sold the eggs. So that's also where they need funds from us, so they can relocate the eggs, and they relocate them into a safe zone. And imagine that the depth of the nest, it determines if the turtles will become males or females. So that's also where they need the marine biologists to help them with this task. Also, then another person from the local village is employed to actually guard the nest, so no one can do any harm to it. Also, Also, reef and beach cleans are done every week because, well, we see the pictures on the media, how all the plastic and all this floating fishing nets, they get tangled and they get to the coral reefs, damaging them. So every week they have a day when, instead of teaching tourists to dive, they are cleaning the beaches and cleaning the reefs. So to keep the coral healthy and nice. So yeah, that was briefly something about their work. And I hope you are excited to know that how much we could raise for the turtle hatchery. That's Estefan on the picture, together with his newest cousins, the river turtle and the sunshine turtle. And, oh, I see questions in the meanwhile. Joanna is asking, what is the purpose of digging up the turtle eggs? What do they use them for? They are then they are just relocating the eggs. So in the case that they would leave them like somewhere out in the nature, then they would not be able to guard them. But they have a fenced property where they are relocating the turtle nests. So then the guards can keep them safe. If they just left them there, then somebody from the village, sorry to say, but they would come and dig it out and sell it at the nearest market. So they have to keep the turtles safe. So I hope I answered your question. And if you have any more questions, then I am very happy to answer if I can. And if not, then anyway, I will be in touch with the turtle sanctuary these days, so I can ask all the questions you might have. I don't see comments coming in. I hope you still see me and hear me. Sarah says, I agree with Erla. I have turned back to embroidery and now I think it is fun after following Erika's lessons. That's so nice. Liv says about the durians, I was offered it in Malaysia, but the smell was too much. Right? I battled through the smell, but it was horrible. And Jana, oh, so glad they are able to keep them safe. Yeah, it is more difficult than we might imagine, right? So, and back to that number. So, since September, also from, well, there were more kits sold than in the previous period. Also, a little more tutorials, and even some of the beaders contributed with a little bit of extra, telling us that we should send it to Scuba Junkie, and then we rounded up the number a little bit. So next week we can send 570 euros to Malaysia, to the Sea Turtle Sanctuary. So I think you can be so proud of yourself. And I want to thank you so much for contributing to this. This is something very important to do, and one bead at a time, but with our tiny beads, we can actually accomplish a lot. So thank you so much. Yeah, so if we count it together with the previous contribution, then it was, how much was it? 470. Now I don't know it by heart. And I can't find my picture. 450. So, well, that makes it 6,000 yeah, we are across €1,000. That's a really big amount of money we can send, and I have never imagined that it will come to this. Thank you so much. And yeah, this is what I wanted to tell you about because I'm really happy about it, and really like I'm amazed by the community of beaders. But to get back to our usual stuff, I would like to show you one more time the topic for our No One Has to Bead Alone on Friday. This past weekend, I have to say, the bad weather, it really contributed to me being more efficient. So I finished actually not one, but 2 projects for our next No One Has to Bead Alone afternoons. So you are the lucky ones who are here with me, because yeah, the first one I showed you already in the group. I would like to just remind you of that, but I will actually show you the project which we will bead together, not this week, but the following week. So I hope that you are getting excited. Hey, Ludka! Ludka joined us too. So, this is the magic mirror motif. It can be used. I attached it to a filigree brooch base. So for me, it will become a brooch. You can make it with or without a filigree, a brooch filigree or a normal filigree too. And you can use it as earrings, as pendant, or like, as I always say, you can even connect 3 motifs, for example, and make a nice statement necklace. And for the magic mirror, by the way, I chose the name magic mirror because this seemingly small motif, it's so full of Swarovski bicons and it's so full of bling, bling, bling that the name magic mirror just seemed accurate. So I'm really happy to see that you like it. And to remind you one more time of the material list, so you can get prepared for next week, for this week, actually, this Friday already. You will need, as always, you need 0.12 millimeter or 4 lb fire line, 27 pieces of 3 millimeter bicone beads, Miyuki Delica 11, Miyuki seed beads number 15. I used 2 different colors. One color is directly around the pearl in the middle, and then other color just a little bit later. You can use 1 color or you can use 2 colors. That's completely up to you. You will also need a 6 millimeter round pearl, 9 pieces of 4 millimeter round pearls, and 12. It's not 12, it's 18. I have to correct it. I'm so sorry. 18 pieces of 3 millimeter round pearls, and the 9 pieces of 4 millimeter fire polished beads. Do you now have any questions about Friday and about this project? In the meanwhile, also Hilly joined us. Donna, hello ladies. So, are there any questions about the magic mirror maybe? If not, then I would also like to show you the project which we will bead together, not now, but on the upcoming week. So, this was Magic Mirror, and this is Bracelet Tushinsky. And my Amsterdam friends will know will know Tushinsky and the building which houses now Pete Tushinsky. And it's a beautiful small art movie, and it's built in the style of, it's actually a combination of Art Deco and Art Nouveau. And I saw in this bracelet with the lines, I saw something from these styles. So that's why I chose the name Tushinsky. And back to the previous project. Thanks, Petra. Terry is asking, how big is the filigree piece? It's 38 millimeter big. I will post you the link to the filigree after the broadcast. Iti loves it. I'm so glad. Erla, if you mean those vintage bronze, antique bronze metal parts, then that is the filigree. I glued my motif on top of this filigree. You can, but don't have to glue it on a filigree. And oh yeah, one more question, Erika. Are we going to bezel the middle pearl? Yes, indeed. And thank you so much for reminding me of the bezel. Please, everyone who would like to join the Fridays Bead Together, make sure that you are very comfortable with peyote stitch, with peyote bezels. You don't need to do it in advance, but yeah, make sure that it's not new for you. And if you would like to practice a little bit in advance, then I would like to recommend you the Chloe and the Leah motifs. So look into them if you would like to be a Gold Star student. And Tushinsky. Yeah, Anita also says the bracelet is beautiful. It reminds me of Art Deco, right? I'm so glad it's not only me. Somehow the quartertillas and in between the pearls, it really reminded me of Art Deco. So the Tushinsky bracelet, you will need 6 millimeter round pearls. You will need 4 millimeter round pearls. Then you will need quartertilla beads. You will need number 15 round seed beads, number 11 Miyuki Delica, and a bracelet clasp. So that's it. I hope that you are getting excited. And last week we actually had already the 10th session of our No One Has to Bead Alone broadcast. And I would like to invite you to I would really like to build a community, and let's show each other our faces, and let's connect in even more ways. So I would like to invite you to snap a selfie while you are beading, and please send it to me. And I would like to put all the selfies together in an album on the Facebook page, so we can actually put faces to those names, because we are together for nearly 3 months now, and yeah, I see many of you interacting on Facebook. I see you commenting to each other, and it would just be so nice to get to know each other better, I think. So, challenge. Niti, dear, the fire polish, you mean the magic mirror, right? Yeah, the other doesn't have fire polish. They are 4 millimeter big. Yeah, Sarah is asking, are we going to bead the bracelet one Friday? Well, we were going to bead I think 2 or 3 motifs. Let's see how fast we can work. It's up to you. Oh, the bracelet, Niti, yeah. thank you for reminding me. There are these connectors between the motifs. I used 3mm fire polished beads indeed. But if you have 4mm, then you can use 4mm fire polished beads. They are not built into the structure of the motifs. They are just really just connecting the pieces. So it's not that important to stick to the 3mm size. But I found it as a good balance to the motifs. So yeah, as Petra says, Magic Mirror will be the last Friday of May, and then Tushinsky will be the first Friday of June. Oh, so nice to see you happy. Sarah, yeah, first week of June. So, do you maybe have any more questions? Anne asks, would check bars work instead of quarter tillas? I haven't tested them, and truth to be told, I'm not that familiar with the check bars to be able to determine. If possible, I would stick to the quarter tillas, because that's what I tested, and that's what I know that it will work. The check bars, very probably you would need to adjust the motifs. Petra, can you tell more about the workshops? So, since basically all the real-life workshops nearly well cancelled for this year, then I decided to take a big step. And also after our first successful online workshop for those who originally wanted to come to my Amsterdam workshop, but we were not able to meet 2 weeks ago in Amsterdam, so we met through Zoom. We ate Tony Chocolonely together, everyone, and we had a very nice morning together. And another session is actually waiting for us when we will when the beaders can ask questions and about the project, and I will answer them. So first we started to work on the projects together, then participants continued with like homework, and then there will be one more session when we will like finish it off. And very soon as I get a count of all the kits available, I will post the possibility to sign up for my online workshops. All the topics which were supposed to be real workshops will be transformed to be as online workshops. So there will be live meetings included, and there will be also recordings included. Those who already participated in the Amsterdam workshop, they will also get the recordings afterwards, so they can really like look at it how I was working. And the first to know about the workshops, first of all, will be those who already came to the Amsterdam workshop, and those who originally signed up for one of my workshops and can't come, and the club, of course. And if there is anything left from the seats, then I will also publish it, like publish publicly. Yeah. Sharon is asking, will you be offering lemonade again? Yes, indeed, lemonade will be available as a workshop. Lemonade, Jardin Majorelle, then Starstorm, Byzantine. These are the ones which come to my mind now. So those for sure will be available as workshops. Lutka is asking for the beads for the bracelet. Is it okay? I will post them afterward in the group. after the broadcast. Corinne, yes, that's what, there will be a lot more online workshops. Don't worry. Kathy is asking, would it be able to a kit to the US for in time for the workshop? Yeah, that's what we were actually discussing with my sister today. So the plan is that the workshops will start a bit later. First for European beaders, and we will give plenty of time for the kids to arrive to the States. By the way, we are accepting orders from the States and all around the world, but the post office is really unreliable these days, in the means that we don't know that when can we actually post the shipments or when will they move. But they move slowly, but everything is moving. So yeah, we will give plenty of time for US beaders to make sure that they have the kits. And Tanya, we have one of the participants here. She says it was a real joy to be part of the workshop online. Thank you for being part of it, Tanya. For me, it was also like very special sitting at home in my kitchen and beading together, and it was a really nice time. And I'm already looking forward to meet with you again. And Terry is asking, what time does the workshop start on Friday? So it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Central European time, 11 in the morning, New York City, 8 o'clock in the morning, California time. So if you are outside of these time zones, then you will need to calculate it online to know that when should you show up. And yeah, if someone wants to join, just come to my Facebook pages at the designated time and keep refreshing until the broadcast starts. I'm already looking forward, Niti. It was really fun. So, and yeah, that was it for me, I think, from today. I will be online now too, and I will start answering all questions, also those which I got through emails and in the group in the meanwhile. And yeah, let's keep beading. And I will post the material list again corrected with the number of 3mm round purse. Why do I make a mistake in my calculations? Like, unbelievable. I try to be so so precise with it. And yeah, please invite your friends, your beading friends, to bead with us on Friday. Please share the news of no one has to bead alone. So as many beaders can join us as possible. And don't forget about the live Q&A tomorrow in the Seed Beads and More group. And also, if you would like to grab some filigree, leather, or L2 Studio cabochons, then you can do it with 20% off until next Tuesday morning. Just use the code TRAVELER. So, as Jana says, everyone have a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you so much for joining me today. Enjoy the rest of your coffees, and wishing you a very, very, very nice rest of the week. Take care, my friends.